My name is Michael Cord, and I teach a course called Hip Hop 101 at Temple University. Tonight we have Lady B. Lady B is the premier radio host from Philadelphia. As a matter of fact, she's known as the Queen of Hip Hop. She's going to come here and tell you what she knows, not only generally about hip hop, old school and new school, but she's going to tell you what she knows as an industry insider. And that person is, once again, the Queen of Hip Hop, Lady B.
Thank you. Is everyone comfortable with me staying right here in my seat? Or would y'all rather me stand? That's cool? Because basically, like I told, for the cameraman, I got to stand up. Ain't this something? All right. First of all, hello, everyone. Welcome to Hip Hop 101. I want to say that it is truly a pleasure to be here. I never thought in my lifetime I would be invited to speak at a class, but here's a class that I definitely know something about, so I think it's appropriate that I'm here. First I'm going to talk about, and I'm just going to rap to y'all. I don't have any planned speech. I have no notes. I have none of that. I'm just going to speak from my heart. If it comes in my head, I'm just going to let it roll off my tongue. So if you want to get down and talk, ask me some questions, stop me. If I get off one subject and don't elaborate on it enough, bring me back. You know, if there's anything that I can do to enlighten you on what hip hop music is all about. Mike already told you, 21 years ago, I recorded a rap record. First female to do that, and that is how I got my start in hip hop. But right after I was asked to do a rap record by a local DJ here in Philadelphia, I, befriended people in New York, and I went up to New York and I learned that this is not just about rapping. Hip hop is a culture. Now I want y'all to understand that it is a culture, and you know what the meaning of a culture is. It's like ideas, habits, ways practiced by one group of people. It was a culture. It's like Mike said, the breakdancing and the graffiti writing and the battling and the spinning and whatever. And I did have the opportunity to go to New York and see, where Kool Herc and them came from and watch where they spinned in the projects and just the whole thing before anybody thought about taking it to wax, and this whole commercialization thing came about. But when that came about, that was a good thing. Sugar Hill Gang, Joe and Sylvia Robinson, Bobby Robinson with Enjoy, to see young black entrepreneurs putting out their own music, that was a fat thing to experience. It was their own money. They took their money to the pressing plants, they pressed up these records. They didn't have to break down anybody on this money. This money came back to them. This was a beautiful, beautiful time. It was a beautiful thing to be involved with. I am so happy that I had a chance to experience that. On the downside of that, I saw it become so popular that corporate America, like anything else, decided that it was becoming a little too popular. And so we have the birth of a Def Jam. And we have major companies putting their money behind this. And I'm happy about that on one side of the coin. On the other side of the coin, I have a problem with it. Because from my experience, what I noticed is after it got more commercialized, and after it grew and it grew and it grew, the heart and the soul and the culture left. It's there, props, God, thank you for the roots, what I mean? Thank you for artists like that. Thank you for the commons that we still have, and all of that. But I have a problem with the majority of hip hop. Now, to take you back to my experience when I first started, it was a time of gang war. You know what I mean? You wasn't allowed to go to that neighborhood. I remember my boyfriend had to fight because he lived 5 blocks away. And he wasn't supposed to come to my neighborhood to see me. And it was a real violent and radical time. You got to understand, I was raised up in a house of Black Panther Party members, First Resurrection Muslims. It was just that time. It was just a real radical time. And what hip hop did for me at that point, and what I think it did for a black community, is we put down our guns and we put down our knives and stuff for a minute, and we got to battling with microphones and turntables. And instead of shouting out your neighborhood and getting it on and pugging, you know what I mean? We start rapping and mixing, and who could dance the best, and what a better outcome. We all have to understand that was a better outcome. It was a better way for our children then to express their feelings, to let out their rage, because we all know that teenagers are full with all this rage, and they still are today. But now, today, the only outlet they have for it is to be blinged out, thug this, thug that. Now, I understand when I started rapping in the Sugar Hill Gang and To the Beach All and da-da this and hip and a hop, it was a happy thing. It was a happy hip hop. It was a happy, let's have some fun, let's party. It was all love, it was all good. And then, you know, Melly came with the, you know, white lines and things like that. Was a little taste of reality, but we didn't glorify it. You know what I mean? I miss Tupac and I miss Biggie because they had so much to say and they touched such a wide mass of people, but they didn't really get the chance to come a little more correct. To come, their lyrics were reality. God knows they lived it. They died for it, so you gotta know that they lived it. But they didn't get a chance to, for me, they weren't given enough time to uplift some younger brothers and sisters so they truly understood where they were coming from. You know, they were taken away from us much, much too soon. Much too soon. And the problem that I have with hip hop now, I want my culture back. It's still just as popular, even more popular now, but I want it back to the point where we need more positive lyrics. And even if we're going to keep it real, as they say, we need to not glorify it. For this sister here, for those little brothers in that row right there, let's keep it real, but let's let them know that real ain't always what's up. It's not a good thing to be real. Let's let them know to keep it real, but let's change reality. And yes?
Well, you said back then hip hop was a happy thing. So can you elaborate on the MC part of it? You know how
it was a partying. It was a partying thing. It was more like, you know, my clothes, you know, my clothes and my style is cute. I get all the girlies. It wasn't so much on the what kind of clothes it was. It wasn't so materialistic. It was just like, you know, I can rap faster than you. I can rhyme more words than you. You know what I mean? I can spin faster than you. I can cut the record faster than you. It wasn't all this.
It was a pride thing.
Yeah, it was a pride thing. It was like, and at the same time, you got a chance to like say what you was, get your stuff off, to get things off your chest. All hip hop wasn't. It wasn't all happy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there was some battles that got a little serious, and they, you know, it got personal, but that's just what it was. It was personal, and you knew that that was just that brother's views, and that's how he felt, and that was his life. Unlike today, it being so commercialized, I have tons of nieces and nephews, and it hurts me that any niece of mine would want to be Little Kim. No, it bothers me. It bothers me that any nephew of mine would want to be DMX or Jigga, and these are my friends. I love these brothers. I understand that. But hip-hop has grown so much that now we need to divide. We need to divide. Now, get back to what I said about corporate America, because believe it or not, even though my station is supposed to be owned by a black sister or whatever, the companies, corporate America still runs all this. Believe that. Believe that. And corporate America don't give a damn about 16-year-old pregnant girls in North Philly. Don't care. Don't care about how blinged out we want to be, how blinged out our kids want to be. And the irony of all this is, like, how can you tell a child to put their rollie in the air in today's society when the only way he has a chance of getting that rollie is to sell some drugs? So if you're going to tell him that, then take it a step further and tell him about all the jails and prisons that they building for his bling bling ass. You got that? That's what you got to connect to that. See, we're leaving them hanging and we're confusing them. I understand what Mike said about curse words and things of that nature, but I think, and the majority of my friends, I think they're confusing their children. Because I hear, I'll let you see 1 second, I hear my girlfriends tell their kids, don't curse, don't say the B word, don't say the F word in the house. But then you get in the car, and you turn on 99, and you turn on 1039, and y'all bending over and shaking it fast together. So what is this child, I mean, what? There's no divide. See, when I was coming up in a family where I said older brothers and sisters, I was told to go upstairs because they was going to play a Richard Pryor album or what was the back in the day, the Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore. I remember like finding that in my brother's album collection, like, ooh, I'm gonna tell, you know what I mean? It's not that way anymore. I remember my mom listening to Nancy and Ella and doing her thing, and she really wasn't feeling my Earth, Wind, and Fire. She wasn't ready to go to Boogie Wonderland, so we ain't jammed together. That was cool. But now we're jamming together with our children. And I'm saying that I blame it on record companies. I want to get back to why I'm saying this. Because the record companies are controlling the radio stations. So we, and believe it or not, we as a people have more control over all of this. Because if we don't listen, they don't make no money. And if we just keep sitting back and letting this be okay, then they just want to sell us and let our kids hear whatever it is that they want to hear. And it's popular. But and let me let you get your point, brother, before I start spilling some more wet.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say, I've been involved with hip hop since it evolved. I started out, I used to be in the gang, but then I went to graffiti, and graffiti, went to hip hop. Hip hop, like trying to save a lot of us lives on the time.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It was a way out, for us to get to something that was fun. We could go to the neighborhood and party, but we never couldn't even go before,
Right.
And then later on, like in 89, 90, I noticed when they tried to ban rap, because when Public Enemy and other groups came out and tried to preach to us, they wasn't having it. But now
I wasn't allowed to play Public Enemy at 99. How about that? I had to fight to play it.
They rather play the Jay-Z's and everything. They know subliminally what it does to a mind.
And they know, and it's like they don't care, and we're letting them do this to us. So I'm not saying forget hip hop. I'm not saying, just forget it all. I'm saying get it back. I want it back. I want the positive in hip hop to come back. I want that to reflect. And we have to start, if it takes protesting, doing the C. Dolores Tucker, whatever. Because, and don't get me wrong, like I was just, they just came down on me because I supported Allen Iverson on his 40 Bars song. And my only reason for supporting the brother is we do have a First Amendment and we do live in America. And if skinheads can say that they hate every damn body, then damn it, he can spill 40 bars. That's only right. It's only right. We do live in a country and we have that First Amendment. We have it. But like I also told the people, at the First Union Center when he's crisscrossing and balling, love him to death, but I'm probably not going to rock a CD in my car. It's not my flavor. And I'm probably not going to rock it with my kids because I don't want it to be their flavor neither. But concerned adults, I just think there's a divide. When you're old enough to understand that Mystical is just some brother talking trash about some, I can't cuss in front of children, but about some slut, you know what I mean? Then we as adults can understand, oh, that's just him talking trash. But kids can't understand that.
Right.
Kids cannot understand that. I want y'all, if y'all have not listened to this new song by QB Spine, it's called Uchi Wally, I want y'all to go home and listen to this song. Yesterday, I went to Burger King with 2 6-year-olds, my nephew and his buddy. And they in the back of the car, I hit my station and it's playing. And I went to turn it. They're like, nah, that's my song. I'm like, that's your what? Why? Why do you like this song? But I dug that they just hung up into the beat, and that's a natural thing. And these kids aren't really listening, but, all right, that's cool at 6. They just liked it for the beat and the hook. But what about my older niece who's 12 and 13, who's a little more advanced, who knows that she, that she's got a Uchi Wally and knows what call me horse the booty filler means. Then I have a problem with that. And I'm not saying that it's any hip-hoppers or any rapper's job to be parents to our children. Because really, first and foremost, it's our job. That's right. It's our job first. Like I said about Allen Iverson, you do your thing, and it's not your job to mentor my kids. I can handle that. You handle the ball, you handle your thing, I got this. And that's how I feel. But we cannot control where our kids are 24 hours a day. And we need to do something about what they're privy to. And we need to do something about, I'm so angry. And I guess maybe that's why I know Mike and them are starting a petition because I was taken off the 10 to 2 slot at the radio station. And I was laughing with Perry P. and Tyson because they used to work at the station with me. And we've come to the conclusions that I'm a little too radical. and I'm a little too intimidating to my current boss or whatever. But I think it's because I am not a Uchi Wally fan. You know what I mean? I'm not a Mystical fan, even though I got to play these every Saturday at the club. And I don't have a problem playing at the club with, like I said, consenting adults. Because we know that it's just a joke and we know how to laugh at it. Mystical don't move me. He can't do nothing for me. He can't. I wouldn't bend over and shake it for him, never in a day. You know what I mean? It's just not my kind of brother. He couldn't get me to shake a finger. But children are impressed by this. And I've seen, look, young girls trying to get in the club with the phony ID, just anything. I seen them jump on stage at the First Union Center, just juvenile said, back it up. The girl had on no clothes, just took her clothes off, backed it on up. With no feeling. That's where we are with this now. Y'all are shaking your heads or whatever, but this is reality. Every style of clothes is fitting skin tight. They don't have none at all. There was women coming in that First Union Center at that Rough Riders concert, and I'm talking about one of those cold, blustery, bitterly like chatter teeth cold nights with no clothes on. With no clothes on. Now, sisters, come on. I know we got a whole lot to offer brothers other than that. I mean, and if we don't start showing them.
Well, the other thing is the videos don't help either.
Oh, hell no.
You know?
That makes it even worse because now you got the visual for the children. So now they want blue wigs and they want, you know what I mean? They are not even proud of their own hair texture or their skin color. It's disgusting. Yes.
I was just trying to, basically signify what you were saying by like, I work with disease control here in Philadelphia.
How about it's probably out of control, ain't it?
I'm on the front lines every day with young girls coming into the clinic with all kinds of stuff from gonorrhea, chlamydia, herpes.
I can imagine.
Young girls 11, 12 years old getting herpes.
And if we as a people don't think that the music is responsible for a lot of that, then we're crazy.
A lot of it. I'm talking about kids that's only in the 7th, 8th grade. And some of me, I've seen a 9-year-old come in with a disease. And it says, I'm sexually active. And she said, I asked her, why are you so much into sex? She said, oh, because everybody else is into it because we listen to the music. So the music, like he was saying, is subliminally basically capturing our kids and bringing them into captivity as slaves to whatever they're listening to.
Most definitely. And let me stress this fact either. Get back to, I laugh sometimes. I kind of find it kind of funny that corporate America took control over this whole hip hop thing and blasted it out there like that. I bet you they never believed that it would cross over the way that it has. So now we have Caucasian children, Chinese children, don't matter, with their pants hanging off, hats to the back, with their bombers on, and now hip-hop is their way of life. And you got to know that because Jay-Z and DMX did not go triple platinum off of all black sales. Y'all know that. We don't have, girl, we bootleg it, we copied it off the radio. We just don't have it like that. The majority of that money came straight off of mommy and daddy's Visa. Trust me on this. But I said that to say this. Just recently in the news, the whole hype about Eminem. Now, when the Beastie Boys came out, and they were like, I am not a prejudiced person. I'm here to stand up here and tell y'all I'm not a racist. I'm not a prejudiced person. I'm prejudiced against one thing, and that's negativity. But if you come in with a positive vibe and you come in with a positive outcome, I can take you whatever color you are. That's all I ask of you in life, and that you know that there's only one God and you should fear him. That's all I ask. Other than that, so I say to like Eminem, when people ask me about the Beastie Boys, to get back to that, they were like, oh, they taking our black culture. And I'm like, they can't take anything that's ours, number one. Now they can get down with it, and they can join this hip-hop culture, and why not? It's all love. Why shouldn't everybody be able to do it? So I didn't have a problem with that. On the other hand, not because he's white, I do have a problem with Eminem and what he preached. And the vibe, and the thing that really bothered me about him, because he wasn't even keeping it real. At least DMX and them and Jay-Z and them was really blinged out and really drinking Chris and really acting like this. This kid promoted drugs that he never even took. You hear me? He's got a Vicodin pill on his arm as a tattoo. And he ain't never took a Vicodin in his life. That's scary. That's scary. But the thing that's funny, the irony of it is, all the stuff that Jay-Z and all the rest of these new school rappers have been saying, it hasn't been a problem because they were black kids. But now Eminem, It's a big thing. They want to boycott him at the Grammys. They were on the news yesterday talking about making him remove his tattoo or whatever. And I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, well, I guess that's because y'all don't want him speaking to your Caucasian children. But I got news for y'all. Jay-Z's talking to him, DMX and everyone else.
Did you see him on the VH1 program yesterday?
No, I missed that.
He said he didn't mind his 5-year-old listening to the music that he made years ago or a few years ago. I'm not sure how long it's been out.
But he didn't want
But
his,
he does not want her to listen to what he's doing
what he's
now.
putting out now. How sick is that? How sick is that?
He said she
Cannot. Forbids her, right?
Forbids her.
Forbids her. But it's okay if he goes and pollutes some other 5-year-old that ain't his. That's sick. I was laughing with Mike the other day. I came in late and I saw Byron Allen's Entertainment Tonight show about to come on. He said, coming up, interview some DMX and Regina King. I was like, oh, let me see what DMX got to say. Because I never really heard the brother like rap. I'm so disgusted with new school hip hop, I got to admit that I'm not an avid BET watcher. Because I'm tired of flipping through what I want to see. I ain't got time for that. So I'm not. So whenever I can catch these interviews, I try to like tune in. And the brother asked him, what do you feel about your music? How do you feel about your music today? Well, you know, I think it's a music that's necessary. He left me hanging, y'all. That's all the hell he said. He ain't say nothing else. He ain't say nothing. No, he didn't say nothing else. I'm like, necessary cause, or necessary to prove out that the streets is hard, or necessary. Tell me something. That was it. He also asked the brother, what is your message for young kids out there today? The brother said, what did he say, Mike? Oh, y'all can do whatever it is y'all want to do. Just do it. Just saying, just do that shit. Just do it. That was his answer. This is a triple platinum selling artist who has the power and the attention to change a generation. Or he's at least a major part of it. And this was his answer. I'm trying to find that brother. I can't wait for him to get to Philly. I got some conversation for him. No, I'm looking for him. I want to talk to him. Second interview right after that is Regina King. Y'all know Regina King is, the girl from 227 in Chris Rock's new movie. They're asking her about motherhood and whatnot, and she has a 5-year-old son, and she's talking about how great marriage life is and her child, et cetera, et cetera. How has motherhood changed your life, they asked her. She goes, oh, well, I have to listen to, you know, different radio stations and whatnot. So he's like, what do you mean? He goes, well, you know, I listen to the Disney Channel in the car because I don't want my child to hear any hip hop. Now I hung out with this sister. She was a big Houdini fan, big KRS-One fan, big Chuck fan. And now she's gotten disgusted enough to say that she opted for the Disney Channel. She said all they play is Who Let the Dogs Out. And that's about as as risque as she wants to get for her kids. So, you know, I wanted to point out the brother in the back because he thought I wasn't going to do this. Y'all can talk some more. But Perry, come up here with me for a minute. Because Perry P, I don't know if y'all know Perry P. But he was back in the Yes, Yes, Y'all, Happy Hip Hop days too. He was like, he did all the funny voices and everything. He's like a true part of Philly hip hop. He don't want to come up here with me, but I told him I would bring him up here with me. But Perry, no, you can relate on how hip hop took us from a negative, violent time to a happy, peaceful, just networking time. We were making money, we were happy. Neighborhoods was going different places. We did parties on top of parties. Tell him, Perry, tell him.
To reiterate on what B was saying about the record companies, they came inside. They took all the fun out of it. Because
Sure did.
Me and Cosmic Kev, we were both together. We used to be Cosmic Kev and Perry P. We used to do block parties all through this whole city. We started in 1979. I was 13, and Kev was 13. And we were spending. We got record deals that came at us when the industry came in. We said no, because we said we're keeping it real. We don't want to sign no records, so we kept doing parties and whatnot. In fact, hip hop was so big and had gotten so big and interesting that the National Council of Traditional Arts wanted to know about hip hop. They contacted Lady B. They asked her who were the main people in hip hop in Philly. She told them Grandmaster Nell, Caesar, Perry P, Cosmic Kev, the Scanner Boys, who was popping back then. She put everybody down. I ain't know nothing about no.
They was the bomb.
I never seen the Smithsonian. Ain't know what it looked like. They took us to the Smithsonian, this thing called the Mall. We performed out there with people from Alaska, Africa, all across the globe, different forms of music, and hip hop was a part of it at that time. This was in 1984. We performed. In fact, they had our pictures in the Smithsonian. They stayed there about 2 weeks, and they said after they took everything down, they were going to put it in a time capsule. So when the world blows up and they find this capsule, we in there rapping and all this other stuff. But anyway, it was,
Okay.
most of the lyrics was like, you know, like Lady B said, if somebody didn't like it, I had the, I don't know, the experience,
I'm getting
the fun,
sneeze.
to battle Will back in the day when we was getting ready to. I told Will you will never be nothing. Anyway.
Damn, was you wrong right now?
But it was all fun. Will could bust. So, you know, that's
Yeah, he
basically,
was the master buster.
that's as far as it went. Somebody bust on you.
Yeah,
you
that's
got
what it was
mad.
about too. It was about busting on each other too in your gear and
Exactly. We go
Wasn't-
outside, maybe get a little fight or something, but we.
yeah, it was
they
a
got
fair one.
guns
Yeah.
And
Right.
like, I got a 15-year-old daughter. Now she listens to Al Green, the Temptations.
It really.
Because that's what I listen to.
Right.
Parliament Funkadelic. She every now and
Yeah.
then she get into ooh shit. Well, I was like, I ain't trying to hear that. But see, we don't have nothing in common. I'm not in no cars going jigga. We don't sing the same songs because, like Lady B said, when I was singing One Nation Under a Groove, my mom was in there talking about the whole town was laughing at me, taking pentagrams, writing it on the album word for word. Child, you don't know nothing about no taking pentagrams. I ain't want to hear that. You know what I mean? I want to hear my music. I'm in there listening to Treacherous 3. Mom was in there listening to the Temptations or something. I don't want to hear it. But there was a generation gap. There's no generation gap. There's
No, we
shame.
need to bring the gap back.
Right.
There's no shame.
That's it. We need the generation gap to come back. What are you saying, Tito? You got something to say? Oh, bring the beat back. Okay, yeah, we need to bring
Hey,
the
you know
beat
what
back.
you know what somebody said? Friend, you know my mother used to tell me?
Kids want to be their friends.
No, because we need a gap from the younger generation and us. Or at least to the point where I say to all hip hoppers and rappers out there,
Right. That's
I say let's do some more positive stuff so there's a balance. I love Little Bow Wow. This little boy is committed to never cussing on his songs. I don't got a problem with my niece loving Little Bow Wow. Puppy love, bounce with me. You go, girl. Be happy. Do that. But I don't want you trying to figure out where the nigga word was or where the F word was in the song so that you can go, you know. It's to the point where my nieces and I will be jamming when I come in the room like, oh, here she coming, cut off the song. That's a bad thing. Because now that tells me that they sneaking and they doing it anyway, so now I got to let them know, like, I don't care what Destiny Child said, you don't need no brother to pay your bills.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You get your education, you get your job, you pay your own damn bills. If he want to pay, you know, a car note, here it is, all good. But, you know what I'm saying? I'll take a gift. You know what I mean? But I can handle this. You know what I mean? I can take care of this by
Like
myself.
She said in the back, it struck a memory. She said that they're trying to be the friends of the kids. My mother used to tell me all the time, and I quote unquote from my mother, I'm not your damn friend.
Exactly. Right.
She said, I'm your mother, not your friend.
And another thing your mom always told you, when you came home and said, but everybody else is cool. My mother hated when I said that. She talk about, I only spit one out. That's you. I don't care nothing about anybody else in your class. Don't have nothing to do with that.
See, the materialism.
But we fall for it now with the materialisms we do. We let our kids come home and oh, mommy, you gotta have guests because everybody in school got guests but me. And what do? Instead of telling her that guests is not making you a person, your jeans can be straight from Sears and you be just as cute as the next broad. You know what I mean? Take her to a factory and let her know that the same machine that's throwing off the guests is the same machine that's throwing off the damn Sears jeans.
And also teach your kids to get into stocks, because that's what I tell my son. Instead of promoting Michael Jordan, those sneakers, he doesn't have a job. I have a job. I don't have on sneakers like that. He's not getting sneakers like that. I'll buy your stock at Nike, but I will not buy you sneakers.
I hear
See,
you.
that's the thing.
That's
we
the
need
difference.
To educate our children.
There you
I'm
go.
here with them. This is something he wanted to do. I wanted to take a Spanish class, but I knew it was going to be, he said invite guests here tonight, so I said I'll still sit in. And I haven't gone to my class yet, because this is my prize right here.
There you
I
go.
have to take care of him.
What's up? That's what's up.
You don't listen to the same
That's
thing.
cool.
I don't know half
I
the
wish there was
people
more
you're talking
sickers with
about.
their kids in here right
You know, I
now.
don't know half the people you're talking about, because I don't listen to 103 whenever I love you. Now, I just met you for the first time.
Thank you.
You know, and I don't listen to the radio station because I like 105.3 DAS. I'm
Quiet
on
as kept girl,
teletype.
that's what I listen to. When I'm not at work, I'm a
So
DAS
I remember
listener.
being young and listening to different things. So I do allow him to listen to some, but I'm monitoring this.
Cool.
I want to know what you're listening to.
Cool.
Before you buy a CD in the store, I want to hear that CD. I want to hear it in its entirety.
Yes, and more
Okay.
parents should be that way because I
That's
don't
the
think
way I
that half of them even know what their kids are listening to. The ones that are just have disassociated and the ones that have fell for it are jamming with them and not breaking it down for them and not telling them what it's all about.
Check this
You
out.
had something to say and so did the brother in the back before you say something because they was waiting. What?
One thing I want to get back when you talk about hip hop culture and everything that, me being an old B-boy myself and living in New York and going through that whole experience, one thing that you had to make sure that you had rhyming skills. You had to have skills. and
They
that's
don't
why
even have that anymore.
I'm happy that Michael Cord started this because you had to have skills. It wasn't that, you couldn't come up with some crap and everybody would listen to it. You had to come there, you had to deliver, you had to have saying something. Your skills had to be tight. And that's one thing that made it, and if you didn't have that, then you wasn't gonna make it. But now you can say anything.
You know why? Because they have surrounded it with this super fly video with the double split screen and the, you know what I mean? And all this and that and the cars and the diamonds and all these false materialistic things that mean nothing. And everybody's just like, wow. We done forgot the fact, we done forgot all about he didn't say nothing. He ain't saying nada for like 3.5 minutes now. Then I also feel like in reference to 103.9, I have to say this not to get off the hip hop thing for a minute, but I was misled because I came back on the air. All right, Tyson. I came back on the air 4 years ago. I had put Lady B to bed. That was no more B, no more Lady B. I'm ready to start daycares and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't doing that. I was ready to educate some black kids. I would still want to do a young black romper room kind of TV show for kids kind of thing. Yeah, and teach some black history and stuff. That's one of my goals. But I didn't want to do this, but I got a beat from, remember Perry? I got a beat from Charlie Mack and Will and all talking about, oh, it's his black sister. She bought a station in Philly. You got to come work for her, do this old school thing. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And Perry and all, I'm like, oh, come on, B. Where we gonna hear some Schooly D on the air, in the new millennium? You gotta do it. So I'm like, all right, here we go. And I'm like, all right, well, yeah, it's a black sister, to help her out. And, I know the market. I, raised on cheesesteaks and tasty cakes, all that. This is my thing. I could do this. And I'm just disappointed because I thought because I was working for a black sister that they would care more about black people. And no disrespect to Ms. Hughes, I commend her on everything that she's accomplished, but it just came down to the same old American rules. It's all about a dollar bill.
But doesn't it hurt more when it comes from them?
It's a little extra pain.
It just hurts a
Yeah,
little more deeper.
sometimes you expect it in other areas, and then where you didn't expect the pain, it always hurts a little more. You know what I mean? Like if a family member punched you in your lip, it hurts a little more than some stranger in the street. Exactly, ma'am. Exactly.
Like Chuck Lee said, fear of a black planet, it also applies to some of us too.
Sure. Like what Chris Rock said, I'm not scared of black people. I'm scared of niggas. I'm scared of ignorant people. You know what I mean? And that said a lot. Tyson, what you have to say?
Do you think your PD understands the difference between old school and new school hip hop?
No, I don't.
Do you think he cares?
hip hop at all because he can't
Think he cares?
No. I think that he cares about his job and cares about pleasing the powers at hand, and that's just about it. It's really not. See, I'm not in the radio because I don't want because all the whole Lady B hype thing. I'm not in the radio because I want to be like, oh, that's Lady B, whatever. I'm here because I love my people and I love what I do. And I have every right to do what I love in my life and to love my people at the same time. I couldn't find a better job. I get to talk to kids. I don't know another job. Everybody teased me and they thought, oh, B, now you can't turn off listeners because when I was doing 10 to 2, if you call me at 10:30 and you sound like a child, you don't get no shout out unless you tell me why your butt ain't in school. I want to know why you ain't in school today. And, I mean, it got to the point where the kids would call me and go, Lady B, before you say something, I got a dentist appointment today with my mom. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, what you want to hear? You know what I mean? Because they knew I was going to lay them out for not being in school that day. Or I ain't feel like it. Or you just didn't feel like it. Well, my mom said I ain't have to go. And one little girl, I said, where's your mother? She not here. Where is she? She went to work. I said, she went to work. She had to go to work, but you ain't have to go to school. Okay. She gonna be going to work a whole lot longer because you ain't gonna have no job neither. And she gonna have to take care of your little monkey butt because you ain't gonna have no education because your ass stayed home. Seriously, yes. This is my other sister that used to work at the station. Notice that the people that I say that are here with me tonight, this is not a coincidence, but the people that felt enough for me and felt enough about hip hop are the people that are here tonight, and every one of them used to work for the radio station. All of them quit.
Yeah.
Let me say that they weren't fired. They all just like came up to me talking about, yo, B, call me at the crib. I'm out. I'm like, out? Yeah, I can't do this no more. And this is one of the sisters. This is Ali Love. And this sister knew, I know she's always talking about, oh, you the bomb on the radio and B, you this, you that. She doesn't know how much I envy her. When it comes to wires, you DJs out there and equipment and all that, she wired our whole station. No, it's to the point where one day I was panicking in the studio because something went out. Some light went out, something went out. I'm like, oh man, Allie, call the engineer. She talking about, sis, it's cool. She climbed up on the thing, climbed up in the drop ceiling, pushed some jaw and wiggled some shit around. Like, the light came back on. I just looked at her like, you the bomb. I'm like, she knew it all. She knew everything about that station. I mean, I can't plug in a VCR or set the time on it. I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't. So I just had to say that to, in front of all these people to your face. Now, what did you have to say?
Oh, I'm supposed to remember that, right?
I'm sorry.
One of the main reasons that I had to leave that station was because if I'm doing a shift from 6 to 10 in the morning, and I got 8-year-olds calling me up, oh, can I hear the thong song? I said, hold up now. I haven't heard that yet.
You don't know the thong song by Cisco?
Good.
Girl, you gotta turn off DAS just for half a second. I'm just like, come here. Just for half a second, you just gotta. Yeah, the little one with the platinum hair. That would be him.
No.
That would be him. And she talking about who that? Who? So go ahead. I'm sorry. Your point is kids liking the thong
When
song.
they call me up and ask for songs,
Can you keep it down so we can hear the question or comment, please?
my thing is, I'm asking them, all right, first of all, I want to know.
Can you please keep it down while somebody's talking so we can hear? Thank you. Go
I'm
ahead.
asking them, first of all, I want to know about your grades, okay? What was your last report card?
Right.
Like? All right, I'm going to give you a quiz right here. The only way you're going to hear this song is by answering the following 4 questions. They're like, click. Sometimes they would call right back. Okay, I thought about it. I want to hear that song that back because I love Cisco. I'm like, hold up. Another thing that I had to deal with was spirit. Because forget the dollars, I got to go home and live with me. Okay?
Right.
And my thing was, if I'm walking through the halls and I'm hearing Iyanla Van Zant in my head tell me the same thing she told me when I was at DAS 12 years prior,
Right.
this is a cesspool, you have to get out.
Right.
Then it's time to get out because I'm not doing nothing but contributing to the air pollution that they're hearing.
And I know, and I understand you feeling like that, and I understand you stepping for that reason. And God knows every other day I want to step for the same reason. I just want to say, oh man, forget it. But every time I do, I'm like, but this is my only foot in the door. I got to make a change. It's, you know what I mean? I'm glad that I have, even though I'm only on Saturday and Sunday now, my hours have went from whatever, 44 hours or something like 8 or 10 hours. I still have that 8 or 10 hours to make a difference.
You're supposed to be there, B.
You know what I'm saying? I still have that little window, and then like they say, if you just change one life, or if you just bring up one sister, one little brother, then it was all worth it. So, all you hip hoppers out there, I don't want to come down on the new school too much. When you go out there and you take this back out, like, oh, Lady B just don't like new school. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I want us to get more serious about our music, and I want us to get back to the culture of it all. And I'm not saying to go grab a can of spray paint and deface anyone's property. No, I mean that. I mean that put it on a pamphlet, put it on a board. It's art, and it's it's beautiful. I mean, take your graffiti and because I mean, a brother did me a graffiti Lady B at the Painted Art Bride Center that I can't wait to frame. because I think it's so funky. And somewhere when I get my new fly house, it's going to be up in my rec room because I thought it was so fly. You know what I mean? I want y'all to get back to that, get back to the beauty and the positive things that this culture has to offer.
I know we can go on for a long time, but we got to cut it short because we got to actually leave the building. But let's give a round of applause.
Thank you, y'all. I'll come back again if y'all want me to. We can finish. All right.